So today's topic is bank reconciliation statement. Now before understanding what a bank reconciliation statement is, we got to understand these points. Cash book, passbook, number 2, date of reconciliation, number 3, entries, that means what are the entries you need to take, number 4, bank balance, or you can say the balances, bank balance. Okay, now we know that every company opens an account with the bank. It's called bank account. So in the bank, a company will have an account. Why is this account maintained? In order to do the transactions related to in order to do the transactions through bank, like check deposit, check withdrawal, all this has to be done with the bank through its account. Now all these transactions that is taking place with the bank needs to be recorded by the company or the firm. So the company or the firm records all these transactions related with the bank in a book called cash book. So we have learned about cash book in the previous videos, right? So cash book is maintained by whom? It is maintained by us or the customer, which we known as. It is maintained by whom? It is maintained by us, the customer, that is the firm or the company. And whereas the bank account is maintained by whom? It is maintained by the bank. Now the details of the transaction that is taking place with the bank will also be provided to the customer or to us by the bank. And this detailed statement which is given to us by the bank is called passbook or the bank statement. If you get a detailed statement from the bank in a piece of paper, then that is a bank statement. And if you are getting the detailed statement in a book form, then that is called passbook. So this passbook or bank statement is maintained by the bank for the transaction that is taking place with the bank and the company or the firm. Now when we talk about a cash book, we have already learned about the single column cash book and double column cash book. In a double column cash book, you have cash column as well as bank column. So here we are talking about the double column cash book having a bank column. And all the transaction that takes place with the bank or through the bank will be recorded in a double column cash book. Now let's see here what kind of entries will be recorded in the cash book or in the bank account. The dealings with the bank and the firm or the company, like check deposit, cash withdrawal, check withdrawal, or direct deposit made by the customers, and so on. There are so many different transactions that may take place. Now let's see, if the check is deposited into the bank, so check deposit will increase the balance or decrease the balance. Deposit will increase the balance, so we'll make the entry on the debit side. Deposit is on the debit side because this will increase the balance. Or the debit what comes in. Since the money is coming to you, so you will record it on the debit side. Now since this is a check, so this check has to be deposited in the bank. So the bank will also make the entry, right? So the bank will make an entry on the credit side here, on the credit side. So the deposit entry is made on the credit side, the plus here. This is very important point to understand. In the cash book, all the deposits will be recorded on the debit side, but in the passbook, all the deposits will be recorded on the credit side. Just the opposite of what we do in the cash book. Now why? Why this so? This deposit is my money, is our money. It is an asset. It is an asset. So assets are always debit. Now this money has gone to the bank. Now whose money is this? This is my money, but I have given it to whom? I have given it to the bank. So it's a liability of the bank. Since liabilities are, since this is a liability, so liability needs to be credit. So liabilities are credited. Liabilities are credit, you can say. That is why. So since this is my asset, so it is on the debit side, and this is the liability of the bank, so it is on the credit side. So that is the concept behind this debit and credit of the passbook. So the deposit will be on the debit side of my cash book, and the same deposit will be on the credit side of the passbook. This is what you got to remember. Now if there is a withdrawal, money is withdrawn from the bank through check, right? So when money is withdrawn, money comes or goes, it goes from your account. Money is going out. So debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So in the cash book, I will write down on the credit side, withdrawn. Check withdrawn will decrease my balance, so it is minus. Now the same entry will also be there in the bank column, in the bank account. Now same entries will be there in the bank account as well, because this is a withdrawal made by check. So this is on the credit side. So now this entry will be on the debit side of the passbook. So withdrawal. So withdrawal will decrease the balance. Right? So here this is what, here it is very important to understand how the entries are made in the cash book and in the passbook. So if the balance, if a transaction leads to increase in the balance, then the entry will be on the debit side of the cash book. Right? If the transaction increases the balance in the bank account, the entry will be on the credit side in the passbook. So what we can conclude from this explanation is this: cash book and you have a passbook. Debit and credit. So cash book debit means plus, passbook debit means minus. Passbook debit means minus. Cash book credit means minus. So here passbook credit means plus. So this is very important concept here. Debit for the cash book means plus, and credit for cash book means minus, as it is explained here. Similarly, debit in passbook means minus here, and credit in passbook means plus, as explained here. So this is important concept that we got to understand. Now, so this is about the entries, how the entries are recorded in the cash book and in the passbook. Now coming to the balance, bank balance. Now when we talk about a bank balance as per the cash book or bank balance as per the passbook is the same thing. So bank balance, when we talk about this, bank balance can be of two kinds. It can be favorable balance or unfavorable balance, which is also called overdraft. Favorable balance means this is positive balance, plus balance. This is positive. Unfavorable balance means negative. That means this is minus balance. Favorable balance indicates that the company or the firm has its own money with the bank. Unfavorable balance means the company or the firm does not have its own money. It has borrowed money from the bank. That means it is a kind of loan taken from the bank. This is also known as overdraft. Overdraft is a facility given to the firm or to the company or to the business concern. As per this facility, the firm or the company are allowed to withdraw money even beyond the deposits they have with the bank. So it is a kind of loan facility given by the bank to the companies. That means they are allowed to withdraw more than what they have their own money in the bank account. So that's overdraft facility, right? So this is very important for you to know while preparing a bank reconciliation statement, right? So favorable balance means positive balance, unfavorable balance means negative balance. Now when it comes to the cash book and pass book, we always talk in terms of debit and credit balance. We say debit balance or we say credit balance. So if it is a debit balance in the cash book means, debit balance in the cash book means positive. Debit balance in the pass book means negative balance. See here. So debit balance means plus, plus means favorable balance. Debit for passbook means negative, so negative here. Negative means unfavorable balance. That means if it is passbook debit balance means it is unfavorable balance. Cash book debit balance means it is favorable balance. Got it? Now similarly, cash book credit balance. Credit balance means minus here. Credit balance means minus is here. That means this is unfavorable balance. Similarly, passbook credit. Passbook credit means plus. Plus means what? Plus means a positive balance. That means this is a favorable balance. So in the exams, in the questions, you may have passbook debit balance. Passbook debit balance means it's a negative or positive balance? Negative balance. That means bank overdraft. It is the overdraft balance. So these concepts are very important, okay? So we talked about the bank balance. So favorable balance, unfavorable balance, and we understood how to find out whether it is a favorable balance or unfavorable balance when we come across the term like cash book debit balance, cash book credit balance, or passbook debit balance, or passbook credit balance. Now come to the date of reconciliation. Date of reconciliation. Date of reconciliation means a reconciliation takes place at the end of a week, after 15 days, at the end of the month, or after 3 months, as and when the firm or the company wants to reconcile the balance. So date of reconciliation is very important in order to understand the entries recording and to prepare a bank reconciliation statement. Right? Now let's see here. Now let's come back to this again, the bank balance. So the same entries are recorded in the cash book as well as in the passbook, right? That means when the same entries are recorded, or the entries for the same transactions are recorded in the cash book as well as in the passbook, then the balance owned by the cash book and the balance owned by the passbook, the bank balance owned by the cash book and the bank balance owned by the passbook should always be the same. Is it or not? So if the cash book shows a balance of say 30,000, then the cash passbook should also show the balance of 30,000. It should be the case. But sometimes what happens is the balance shown by the cash book and the balance shown by the passbook will not be the same. They may not show the same balance. There will be difference in the balances. The cash book may show 30,000, whereas your passbook may show 25,000, or it may be other way around. So what I mean to say is there will be difference in the balance. Difference in the balance. Now, why there is a difference in the balance? And this difference in the balance has to be corrected. How to correct the difference in the balance? By finding out the causes of differences. You have to find out what is the reason for these differences. For this, you have to go through each of the entries and find out which of these entries are not recorded and where. There may be some entries which are recorded in the cash book but not made in the passbook. There may be some entries which are made in the passbook but not in the cash book. Or there may be some error made by the firm while making the entries in the cash book. There may be some error made by the bank while making entries in the passbook. And all these things will lead to the differences in the balances. So these differences in the balances has to be rectified, has to be corrected, and in order to correct these differences, by taking the causes of the differences, a statement is prepared known as bank reconciliation statement. So a statement is prepared. A statement is prepared by taking what? By taking the causes of differences, right? And these two balances are reconciled. This statement is known as bank reconciliation statement. And bank reconciliation statement are always prepared on a particular date. On a particular date. On a particular date. That is why the date of reconciliation is very important. Why is it is important? Because it is important to find out what is the transactions recorded in the cash book but not in the passbook on that particular date. On that particular date. Supposing if you are preparing a bank reconciliation statement on 31st March 2018, then you have to find out the entries made within this date. There may be some entries which will be made after this date. And since the date of reconciliation is 31st/3/2018, so we'll take the entries recorded or not recorded within 31/3/2018. This is the importance of date of reconciliation. Right? Now number 5, let's see what are the causes of differences. Why there is a difference in this balance? These differences can be because of difference in timing. Difference in timing, what does it mean? Take for example, it means that check issued but not presented to bank. Say for example, I issued a check of rupees 10,000 to a creditor, say Ashok, today. So I will immediately make this entry in the cash book. Today only I will make the entry in the cash book. I'll subtract the amount because the check has been issued. Payment has been made to my creditor, Ashok. Right? Now, you cannot go after Ashok telling him to go to the bank and present the check. Take the money from the bank. You have issued the check to Ashok. Ashok has received the check. Now it is up to him when he will go to the bank and get the money. He may go to the bank after a month, or he may go to the bank after 15 days and withdraw the money. So there is a time gap. Say, you have deducted this amount immediately from the cash book, but this amount will not be deducted from your account by the bank immediately. The bank will deduct the amount only when Ashok presents the check to the bank. But here the Ashok is taking time. He has not gone to the bank even after 15 days. That means till 15 days the bank amount will not be deducted. So till then there will be difference in the balances shown by the cash book or by the passbook. So that's an example of difference in timing. A transaction recorded by bank but not informed the customer. Transactions recorded by bank but not informed to the customer. But not informed to the customer. The bank records the entry, makes the entry in the passbook. Like what kind of entry? Like dividend collected by bank. You have made the investment in shares, okay, and you receive the dividend, but it is collected by whom? Collected by the bank. So the bank will make the entry in the passbook, but unless the bank sends the information to you, you will not know about it. So you will not make the entry in the cash book, right? So then what will happen? There will be the difference in the amount. Similarly, direct deposit made by a debtor. A debtor is supposed to pay you money, but instead of paying you, the debtor deposited the money in your account in the bank. That means bank received the money. So bank will make the entry. Now you do not know about this payment, right? Unless the bank informs you, you will not know about it and you will not make the entry in the cash book. So again there will be difference. Number C, error or omission made. Error or omission made. This error or omission, the mistakes or omission can be done by you or even can be done by the bank. Check issued for rupees 5,000. Check issued say for rupees 5,000, right? But instead of writing 5,000, you have written 500. This is the error made. This is the error made by whom? Made by you. And because of this error, there will be a difference in the balance, because the bank will write down. The bank will write down how much? The bank will write down 5,000 itself. Bank has written it correctly, but you made an error. You missed 1 0 and you made it 500. So this kind of error, and this kind of error might be made by bank as well. So this kind of error will also lead to the difference in bank balances, and that needs to be reconciled, and hence we prepare the bank reconciliation statement. So this is all about the concept on the bank reconciliation statement, and in my next video I will show you the rules of preparing the bank reconciliation statement and also the format of bank reconciliation statement.